Initially, we had mentioned, the blue economy and, its impacts on the Ghanaian people. From where you sit, how expansive is this blue economy? What jobs can it create for the Ghanaian people if we pay crucial attention to it?
Yes. Okay. So that is a very huge question. So you look at it that we are dealing with a marine space that is about at least 70% of the land size of Ghana. Within this space, you have different level of potential. The most basic one is fisheries resources, which that one itself in the value chain, if we are able to manage, it's a substantial one. If we are able to manage it very well through the value chain and making sure that we aggregate all the benefits, we can get quite a lot of employment. We are looking at our seafaring industry, although not necessarily that they have to work within our waters, but it is also part of the blue economy globally. And Ghana is one of the biggest respected seafaring source for globally. What it means that our shipping, our captains, our engineers, marine engineers, and our ratings are well respected. And that's why we have the Regional Maritime University here. So since we have come into office, what we are doing is trying to drive also the interest in our seafarers. There has been some level of technical issues. One of the technical issues is that before you are finally employed, it's almost like for you to get to this level, to be entrusted with responsibility in TV trade, you ought to have gone through a whole lot of training. So what we call sea time. Sea time is more like, you can call it internship or practice. But ships are very small. So the global community are very hesitant at allowing people, just like even when you want to do internship on land, it's very challenging. How more you are supposed to do internship or sea time on board a ship, where you will just be among some 15 crew traveling around the world. So it's a very technical issue. So, and because we don't have ships in Ghana, we don't have flags in Ghana. Our flags are just a number of fishing vessels here and there on 1 or 2 commercial vessels. We are not able to impose a regulation that says that if you fly our flag, then you must have our cadets for internship. So it led to a point where our cadets are not having the sea time. And because they are not having the sea time, although they have quite a lot of intelligence, energy, well respected, it's like they haven't crossed the threshold that is needed. So which is one of the areas that we are working. We have recently secured opportunities for some of them on board some vessels to do their sea time. And we are pushing it. We've been discussing with partners, and that is coming. We have also entered into some MOUs with some of the big shipping companies that are looking at recruiting more of Ghanaian seafarers. And seafaring is a very respectable job. Let me just whet your appetite. If somebody were to go through, training to become a marine engineer and have his first certificate of competence to start working on board a ship, either in the engine room or on the deck, the person might be starting with just a minimum of $2,500 of salary. And this could increase by the years. By 10 years' time, 12 years' time, a master mariner or a master mariner could be earning $12,000, $15,000. So it is a major area, and we haven't really galvanized our effort completely, and we're trying to increase that momentum.
That's by setting up the university.
Yes, that's because of these other challenges that I have. So you remember historically we had Black Star Line. So when we had things like Black Star Line, they were part of the strategic, if you want, to leverage us. So it wasn't just meant to be carrying goods. It was to help build, because how do you build that seafarer who MEX will want to employ, who CMJ will want to employ? The person must have the experience. And where will the person get the experience? The person has to work somewhere. So these are some of the things. So it's because we haven't really got a flag. And that is why I'm saying that we have those bottlenecks which we are addressing.
Indeed. I mean, should we start to go back to conversation around having a semblance of Black Star Line again?
Perhaps we are unlikely to do that, because we've moved towards where a more many things are becoming privatized. But I will say that it will be important that as a country, we look into encouraging our private investment in that area. Running vessel is a complicated area. And let me say that the global north have also secured it in such a way that penetration becomes difficult for the global south countries, developing countries. But we should find ways and means of pushing gradually, and it requires quite a lot of resources. Maybe a major seagoing vessel could require something like $1 billion, to buy, or $500 million, or before you even lay the keel, you may be required to put $200 million. So it is not an area that the investment, that the capital is small, but it is an area that we as a country should put our vision there to push some of our private investors to go into that area.
Doc, you have a lot of work on your hands.
Yes.
But
and you didn't ask me to read. See, as a lawyer also, I brought this. And one of the reasons I brought this as a lawyer was to read the mandate of the Ghana Maritime Authority.
But
thank you so much. I've also been very surprised with how deep you have read and you have your research into the area. Yes.
I'm glad you noticed.
Yes.